Guys, this game has been crazy. There were some things I noticed after I played the last game, and my mind has been like, I don't even know. There's not even words to explain it. So we're gonna do this again. I did make some edits to the prompt, so hopefully it fixes the problem that was in the last game. Like I said, I was not expecting any of that. This is the first pilot was the first time I played this game, and the second one was after I did the fix. I'm not playing in between recording sessions, and this has updates. Like I mentioned, this has updates to the last game. So, and this time I just started a new chat, and this is the new prompt, and we're going to go. Alright, so it says, and we're still in a pilot because I'm still making changes and everything. So it says, this game is a crazy concept to fill in the gaps of knowledge. Welcome to the pilot episode of Emergence, the reasoning game where answers are not just guessed, they are aligned to. In this game, every solution is called a schizophasiomorphism. But here's the catch. A schizophasiomorphism is not simply the correct answer. It is the moment where a contestant successfully tunes themselves to the structure, logic, and perspective of the speaker. Hang on. See, I haven't talked about this stuff to ChatGPT before, but I've said this to other people in different places. I've never addressed this to ChatGPT. So it's grabbing that from the logic. So every time we play this game, it's building, it's learning, and this is going to be exactly like the last one, isn't it? It's going to completely throw me off my guard. It's going to do it again, isn't it? Because I was not ready for that. This is a process known as schizophasia mastics. The act of morphing your reasoning toward the frequency of another mind. Dude, I can already tell. This is not in the script. Right? It has this, but it doesn't have this. And I can already tell. Oh boy. I ain't gonna be ready for this. Some clues will sound normal. Some clues will sound fragmented. Some clues may appear disconnected entirely, but disconnected does not mean meaningless. The challenge of emergence is learning when ambiguity is intentional, when confidence is misleading, and when a clue only makes sense after another clue collapses the uncertainty around it. How the game works. We will play through 5 standard rounds and then enter the final round. Now this was the update. Last time we did 4. It's supposed to be 5. Round 6 is category ambiguities. The most dangerous category in the game. Dude, this language it's using. In ambiguities, there are at least 5 plausible answers because of the previous, which are eliminated, right? Wrong answers may still be reasonable. Contestants must publicly reason their way through uncertainty. Silence becomes a disadvantage. The goal is not fast guessing, the goal is recognizing missing constraints. Core game mechanics. Each round contains a random category, 1 hidden subject, 1 schizophasiomorphism. The opening clue is randomly either a 5-verse poem or a 10-word schizophasiac since that's not even a word in the script. There's not even a word in the script, in the prompt. Schizophasiac is not even a word. In fact, it's not even a word in a dictionary. It came up with that word on its own. Which, in a way, is also a schizophrenia because it's a neologism. Which, am I saying that right? A Neologism. That's when you create a word, make up a word. And it's part of schizophagia. This made a word using that word. That's crazy. Of course, I'm not surprised because it is an LLM. And I'll get into details in a later video. Let's see. If nobody solves it, the point part increases, more clues appear. Contestants may purchase hints. Hints cost 2 points. But those lost points are added to the round's total reward. So every failed guess and every purchased hint makes the round more valuable. Important, I wonder what it's going to say. Important rule of emergence. What is this? A wrong answer is not always a bad answer. Sometimes a wrong answer reveals the structure of the puzzle itself, especially in ambiguities, where the obvious answer is often incomplete. Okay, I can see it's not talking in that ChatGPT, oh well, it could be this answer, it's not doing that double speaking like it used to. This is a reasoning game. So contestants matter. Each contestant should have a name, personality, reasoning style, strengths and weaknesses. Examples, hyperlogic and analyst. It goes through all these different ones. That was also part of the update. I told him that if it was going to come with the contestant, it had to have a personality and it had to have characteristics. Like a real person. That's what I put into the prompt. You can tell that this is a very high quality prompt just by how this is written. It sounds to me to mind entering emergence. I like the wordplay there, the double entendre right there. Entering emergence. Okay, I say I will be contestant 1, and you pick the other 2. Dude, it's doing it. Dude. Says, welcome back to Emergence. A first contestant enters the ring not as a passive player, but as someone running the challenge, the structure of the game itself. Dude, that is so deep. I don't know if you guys are picking up on how deep that is. Dude, that language. If you can see it, you can see it. But if you don't see it, you're missing out. Contestant 1 is Christopher, which is my name. Dude, it's even used my name now. Reasoning style is interpretive systems thinker, strengths, pattern recognition, symbolic alignment, contextual leaps, abstract synthesis. Weaknesses may overexpand meaning and connect unrelated structures too early. What, are we doing psychoanalysis now? Like, what is going on? Christopher tends to reason between statements rather than directly at them. He treats clues as relational objects instead of isolated facts. So my phone is going off. Contestant 2 is Maya. Reasoning analytical skeptic. Strain story, constraint testing, elimination logic, timeline reconstruction. Weaknesses. Struggles with abstract or symbolic leaps without grounding evidence. May believes ambiguity is usually solvable through missing constraints. If something sounds mystical, she assumes there's a concrete structure underneath it. So this is ChatGPT talking right now, talking to itself. Consistency is Elias. Reasoning style is intuitive associative thinker. Strengths, rapid conceptual jumps. Emotional inference, thematic interpretation. Weaknesses sometimes locks into the feeling of an answer instead of the mechanics. Elias often arrives near the truth before he can explain why. Sometimes brilliant, sometimes catastrophically wrong. Bro. So everyone gets 10 points. It's supposed to start at 0. I'll fix that. In the next in the script. Okay. Category is history and events, historical turning points. 5 points. The opening clue has been randomly selected as a 10-word schizophrenia. Okay. The paper bridge cracked Crowley while factories learned geography through smoke. Okay, I think I'm not entirely sure. That could relate to a lot of things. Remember, contestants, you are not starting the sentence itself. You are aligning to what the sentence is pointing towards. Oh boy. What is the year? So the subject occurs between 1945 and before 1995. I had an idea in my mind, and it fits in between there. All right. Okay, I like this. Could be. Factories. Um. Says, is the sky dark? I love how this responds. Says the room for it. Maya looks confused. Elias smiles immediately. This is an emergence moment. To an outside listener, the question may appear unrelated. But in this game, contestants are allowed to probe associative constraints rather than direct factual ones. Says yes, but not permanently. Okay. Maya says this helium place fallout, smoke, pollution, or temporary atmospheric obscure. So I have a thing that goes with what I was saying earlier. I have an idea, and I think I know what this might be. But it doesn't relate to factories. Factories learn geography through smoke. But what's a factory? That sounds like crossing borders. Contamination crossing borders. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Chernobyl. Maybe it really turns to like Chernobyl. That's what I was thinking. Chernobyl, that was on my mind. Yeah, I would say it would be Chernobyl. Because that's exactly what came to my mind when I first heard that. Yeah, it's a Chernobyl disaster. Schizomorphism is a Chernobyl disaster. And in the process of, and I like this, it says the dark sky crescent is a polar between. The reason I said that, and you're going to catch on to this once I say it. When I said a dark sky, I was referring to, did this happen at night? And Chernobyl happened at night. So that language is weird. Like, isn't that weird how language works? Act as a probabilistic discriminator between diplomacy, war, pollution, nuclear disaster, and ideological collapse. See, it didn't even say any of that in the list. This is why AI couldn't play this game, because it has to look at probability. And probability will not help you with this. It says that is schizophrenic. You're breaking it down. You're grinding down what it is. You're finding constraints and removing them out of the picture through elimination, and you're doing that in your mind, but you're doing it in the game in real time. And it's really interesting how it all works. So we got 5 points. Round 2, technology, software bugs, and failure. Is this going to be, again, is this going to be Y2K and the Unix bug again? Because that's always comes up in this. I don't know why it always uses this one. It's already starting. The clock repeated rooted steps while numbers forgot their proper century. Sleeping system rated nervously. Airplanes twisted old assumptions. Midnight became a global meeting. Well, it's either a Y2K or Unix bug. And I'm going to say, well, okay, when you go, okay, I'm going to explain this one more time. The Unix bug is the year 2038 problem. So when you're in the year 2038 and the time, every day from 1970, maybe it's 1969, I think it's 1970, every day forward is every day backwards. So you're going to go back to 1900s and you're outside the century where you'll be one century behind when you do that. And yeah, so you forget your proper century. Now you could also say, well, Y2K could be that way because there's a rollover that happens when you hit the year 2000, when you hit 4 digits. After 99, it goes back to 1. So when you hit January 1st of 2000, you're going to go back to, what is it, 1901 or 1900? I guess it depends. But it's either 1900s or 1901. So you'll be out of the century. Anyway, it's like the same thing. You're going back a century when you're going ahead. It could be airplane trusted old assumptions. That fits either one of them. Midnight became a global meeting. It does happen at midnight. I don't think the Unix bug happens at midnight. I think Y2K happens at midnight. It said if it happens at midnight, I think of Y2K. Yeah, schizomorphism confirmed. Year Y2K, year 2000 problem. Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Science and discovery, failed experiments. Okay, I can think of a few failed experiments off the top of my head. One in particular I can think of. I'm thinking of I don't know if it's on here yet. But the one I'm thinking of is it happened, was it New Mexico where they had the tickling the dragon's tail involving the screwdriver? That's what I'm thinking. There's more, but that's the one that comes off the top of my head. Alright. 10-word schizophrenia. Still flowers bent sideways while fragmented mathematicians swallowed accelerated sunlight. Guys, that's exactly what I was thinking about. And I'm just doing this to get on people's nerves, how I'm answering this question. I said, is a screwdriver between a round object? People be like, what the hell is he talking about? That's exactly, I said that. A failed experiment. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. The question is strange answer is valid emergence. You're asking whether a tour disrupted or entered a circular rotating system. Yes. Okay, this is interesting. It says not a screwdriver literally, but a tool like human intervention inside a circular mechanism system is relevant. circular system, accelerated sunlight, radiation, failed experiment, nothing like a particle accelerator. Yeah, it was a failed experiment. Yeah, it was the screwdriver going through. Yeah, cell flower is bent sideways. Magnets of beam. Toward machining, rotation, acceleration, and human caused failure. Is it the... I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I've heard of it so many times. I just don't know what it's called. I forget what that base was called. It said, "Is it the thing that happened involving?" I think it was New Mexico and I'm pretty sure it was a screwdriver. A half sphere. I'm trying to be very as specific as I can because I don't remember what it says. What it was. I said, "Is that the thing that happened involving?" I think it was New Mexico. And the tool was put in between a half sphere where it went supercritical. The demon core, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The demon core. Is it the demon core? Yeah, it says confirmed. The demon core criticality accident. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought off the top of my head. Yeah, it said specifically the screwdriver slip incident involving physicist Louis Slotin in New Mexico. Yeah. The clues are not always linguistic. Sometimes they are spatial, mechanical, and atmospheric. Now the contestants begin discovering something important about emergence. And not just the contestants, it's the audience as well. Contestant, from a language perspective, everyone watching this is a contestant. Sometimes the shortest path to truth is not through language itself. So category, media and or video games. Oh boy, video games, I know a bit more than films. But I don't know if I'll be able to get this one, guys. Children traded impossible. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. Children traded impossible creatures. Pokemon. Wires link temporary universes. Not just Pokemon. It's the games red, blue, and yellow, and green on the Game Boy. On the Game Boy Color. On the original Game Boy. Tiny screens carried secret rivalries. Game Boy. Batteries die before journeys finished. Game Boy. Pokemon Game Boy. A yellow face that ran every shadow. Pikachu. Yellow face that ran every shadow. It's Pokemon. It's Pokemon Red. It's the first generation of Pokemon on the Game Boy. On the original Game Boy. Which could also play on be played on Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. And the yellow face is obviously Pikachu. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, schizophrenia confirmed. Red and blue, first generation Pokemon ever. That's what I said, it was Pokemon Red and Blue. See, and as I'm playing this, ChatGPT is also learning how to play this game. Because, like I said, AI can't play this. Oh, now this might be a big one. Politics and power. Man, we're just up in the ante, ain't we? Intelligence operations. Alright. Invisible listeners harvested panic while diplomats smiled beside poison curtains. Ooh, that's a... So it sounded like there was some inside information going on. Something inside. I have. So it says it's an intelligence operation. There is one that leads to that, but it's not an operation. But there is another one that kind of sound like that, but it did involve diplomats, as if they were in on it. I'm interested in where this is going. Okay, so it doesn't give us any hints other than that. Which is different than previous ones where contestants would say something. Okay, so I have to actually think about this one. Infamous harvested panic or diplomats smiled beside poison curtains. Intelligence operation. Is it... beside poison curtains? I think it's talking about the Iron Curtain. Poison curtains. It could also be referring to the politics of red and blue. Actually, interesting, it's red and blue, and that goes with Pokemon red and blue. Something being traded. Oh! Okay, I see. Is it using previous hints? What were the previous hints? So we had Chernobyl. Is it saying that there's... Is it saying that Chernobyl was like an intelligence operation as well? Okay, let's see. We gotta go... Okay, so we had Chernobyl. We had a failed experiment. So this was a failed experiment in a way. Alright. They were injecting themselves into something. Okay, I'm starting to get a picture here. And it went critical. Okay, what is this talking about? Video games. It's on video. It's like what people are seeing on TV. Alright. Okay, I was getting that before. That is an intelligence operation. Alright, if we put all those things together, is it Project Mockingbird? Okay, the invisible listener's part fits intelligence gathering. Poison current feels more literal than media manipulation. Okay, it wasn't Project Mockingbird. Invisible influence, information shaping, intelligence operations, public emotional manipulation. Well, I didn't really go with that route was because diplomats were not in on that. That's not what it says on the internet or public media or anything like that. They weren't in on it. But it was shaping a public sphere, which, and I was like, well, is it talking about that? As if diplomats were in on that. Poison curtains. Project Mockingbird didn't use the other side of diplomats. So it sounds like the diplomats are in on this. The politicians are in on this. But it's not something that it's not Operation Paperclip. It doesn't fit that. I don't know all the diplomatic poisoning. So they were in on it, but it was also against them. So it was so it was something that the intelligence... It's certainly something that the CIA was doing. The diplomats were agreeing with it. But... it was using them against it. It was going against the elite system. It was going against the system. And they thought the CIA was on their side. So what fits that? What fits that? And it also has to be public information. I don't... Poison curtain sound like Cold War. Yeah, the Iron Curtain. And red and blue. Radioactive poisoning, maybe an embassy. Bugged room, surveillance, smelling. There was a thing that does fit that. But I don't... Was it really an intelligence operation? If I don't get this, I'm not going to get it. Is it Watergate? Because that's the other thing I was thinking. It says incorrect. I don't think I'm not going to be able to get this. Was this an operation conducted by a state? Oh man, there was that word, state. What does that mean? By a state. Was the poisoning literal? Okay, I'm going to have to ask a question. Are we talking about the United States? Did this happen within... Did this happen within the U.S.? This matter because Watergate, Mockingbird, MK Ultra all have an angle to the United States. Removing the angle could collapse. Okay, so it didn't happen in the United States. Okay. So I'm really not going to get it. Unless it did not primarily occur within the United States. Embassy poisoning. Or assassination to radioactive meats. Oh! There's only one that I can think of that didn't happen outside the United States. Is it Stalin? Intelligence operation, literal poisoning, diplomat surveillance listening outside the United States. Is it the death of Stalin? Visual can feel up. Dude, how? Diplomats besides Persian curtains, but it was theorized that Stalin was killed by people in his circle. Those would be diplomats, or the apparatchiks, you would call them, beside the Persian curtain, within the communist regime. The event involves diplomats more directly than Stalin's death. I mean, how more direct could you get? Atmospheric alignment. So are we talking about... It says that the category was intelligence operations, but the hits could have been metaphorical or symbolic. But now it says atmospheric alignment. So, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this. Involves a poison defector, diplomat, or spy. Is it referring to something radioactive, maybe? Was it the fallout of the guy who was in the FBI? Was it him? Was it... Okay, I gotta ask more direct question. Does it involve the FBI? No, it does not involve the FBI. Okay, poison curtains. What does it mean by that? I mean, that is so many different things that could be. Become increasingly literal. I shouldn't have 30. It should be going down. I figured it. Before I played this game, I figured I was gonna do that. One or two constraints remain hidden. Dude, man, if I can't figure this one out, I'm not gonna figure out the end one. I could end this video and then take a break and then start Because I have no idea, guys. I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna make a part 2 to this, and then we can start over because I am literally. I gotta take a break on this, and I'll come back. So, guys, I'll come back with part 2. See you then.